Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And once again, a beautiful fall day across most of north central Washington. In fact, all of north central Washington, a nice one today. Not quite as warm as yesterday where we saw temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. But today, mainly around 50 and into the lower 50s. And this is a beautiful shot looking down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Omi Gardens Sky-Fi Tower camera. And you can see some clouds out there and some blue sky. But that cloudiness really did keep our temperatures down. But I'll tell you what, looking ahead for Friday, Saturday, and into the weekend, it looks pretty nice. 51 for the high Friday here in Wenatchee. Saturday, we look at 55 degrees and around 54 on Sunday with low temperatures mainly in the low 30s or mid 30s rather to upper 30s, and that is nice fall weather considering our normal high temperature is 48 degrees. And we'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Douglas County prosecutors have formally charged a Waterville man who allegedly threatened to kill a teenage boy for sleeping with his wife. You can expect to see more city streets and county roads in disrepair as a result of the apparent passage of Initiative 976. And the fate of a proposed controversial Leavenworth amusement park takes another step forward to a final resolution. But first, we begin tonight. A two-car accident on Highway 28 this morning sent 4 Wenatchee Valley residents to the hospital. Wenatchee State Patrol says the crash happened just after 7 a.m. as a vehicle driven by 17-year-old Francisco Maldonado Beltran of East Wenatchee attempted to cross Highway 28 from north to south on South Nile when it was struck by a car traveling east on Highway 28. That car was driven by 32-year-old Jose Aceves of Wenatchee. Maldonado Beltran had 2 passengers in the car, both of East Wenatchee. There were 2 teen boys who were also injured in that wreck. All 4 people involved in this morning's accident were transported to Central Washington Hospital in Wenatchee. State Patrol says Maldonado Beltran failed to clear his windows of frost prior to driving, which could have contributed to that crash. He was charged with negligent driving and no proof of liability insurance. Douglas County prosecutors have formally charged a Waterville man who allegedly threatened to kill a teenage boy for sleeping with his wife. Dylan O'Gara Smith, who's 21 years old, was arrested Sunday after allegedly threatening the 50-year-old victim and walking through town with a shotgun. He's charged now with counts including second-degree assault, felony harassment, and reckless endangerment. His wife may face sex offense charges as well for alleged sexual conduct with that minor. O'Gara Smith is being held on $25,000 bond in the Okanogan County Jail. Well, you can expect to see more city streets and county roads in disrepair as a result of the apparent passage of Initiative 976. A local transportation official says the ballot measure that caps the cost of vehicle license tabs at $30 will have an impact. NCWLIFE Steve Hare spoke today with Chelan Douglas Transportation Council Executive Director Jeff Wilkins, who says you may not see the impacts immediately.
I think the most immediate answer that I'm somewhat knowledgeable about is just the local car tabs, not the state, but the local ones at the City of Wenatchee and City of East Wenatchee. Those presumably are gone. Exact dollars, it's somewhere in the ballpark of about $1 million a year of local tax that was 100% dedicated to overlaying roads in the valley. So that's gone. That's a big hit. That's a big hit. I mean, and the real point I want to stress about that is you'll hear us talking about this as though it's a crisis, but it's not going to look like the crisis. When you got up and got on the road this morning, it didn't look any different. The purpose of overlaying these roads every 8 to 10 years is to prevent them from falling apart. So if we don't have enough money going into the roads to prevent them from falling apart, they'll fall apart. It just won't happen for 5 or 10 years. So the impact won't be immediately visible.
Wilkins says there are some projects, such as the West Kashmir Bridge replacement, that might also be affected.
Made a prediction. Let's assume 976 sticks and isn't ruled unconstitutional or doesn't go away for whatever reason. The legislature just has to make some really difficult decisions. I think I've seen in the ballpark of a 15% reduction in the transportation funding statewide. How they're going to deal with that is just yet to be seen. They could give dozens of different transportation funding sources a 15% equal trim. they could eliminate 2 or 3 existing grant programs. I'll give you an example of one. The West Kashmir Bridge that's scheduled to be rebuilt next year. One of the funding sources, a significant one, is a state agency called the Freight Mobility Strategic Investment Board. Their funds are a good example of a category of dollars that could be in jeopardy as a result of I-976. So we're fortunate that we've already secured funds. I don't think the dollars tied to West Kashmir Bridge are in jeopardy, but this could close the door on ever being able to go back to an agency like that to try to help fund an important local project.
More than 60 cities use car tab fees to pay for road construction, bus service, and sidewalks. The state also charges fees to help pay for programs including Washington State Patrol traffic enforcement, highway maintenance, ferry operations, and maintenance of county roads and bridges. Well, the dispute over a planned new theme park in the Bavarian town of Leavenworth came before a Chelan County judge yesterday. NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins explains.
At Wednesday's court hearing on the fate of a controversial Leavenworth amusement park, there was one point Judge Travis Brandt wanted to be sure of.
So your position is that 100% of the people that use the park are already going to be located in Leavenworth. No one's going to come to Leavenworth. There's nobody living in Wenatchee, for example, that would say, hey, Mom, Dad, can we go up to Leavenworth to ride on the toboggan?
That question goes to the heart of opposition to the $6 million adventure park, which developers want to place on a rocky hillside at the west edge of Leavenworth. The park, on the drawing board since last year, would include a climbing wall, bungee trampoline, and an alpine coaster, a mountainside toboggan track that's popular in parts of Germany and Switzerland. Opponents of the project, a civic group called Friends of Leavenworth, say it would mean more traffic, light, noise, and parking disturbances than the city can bear. After a Leavenworth hearing examiner approved the needed permits for Phase 1 of the park, they challenged his decision in court.
I mean, this town is built on this Bavarian theme, and if you start loading it up with projects that undermine that, you're destroying the foundation of this town's economy. So it's not just bad aesthetics and bad environment, but it's bad economics as well.
Plaintiffs say the permit went through without proper assessments, including inadequate noise, traffic, and environmental studies. The hearing examiner's ruling found that more traffic was likely, but said there was no evidence that the park would bring more tourists to Leavenworth.
I would anticipate it is fair to say that perhaps no significant traffic is going to be generated, because what we're getting to here is this is not a Seattle Center type of park. This is not large volumes. This is not a large volume theme amusement type park.
Brandt plans to take the appeal under advisement. A written ruling is still to come. Jefferson Robbins, NCWLIFE.
Coming up next, the Chelan City Council this week finalized the purchase of 9 acres of lakefront property on Spader Bay. One of the Wenatchee Valley's most treasured nature preserves could be undergoing some changes in the future. And starting today, you can make your reservation for a high mountain stay in the newly renovated Stalico Lookout. That's in the Eniat Ranger District. Looks great, doesn't it? I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Some jobs are a calling. They call on something higher, something deeper, and a commitment to country that never dies. At Giza Credit Union, we help you support local veterans. With every purchase you make with a Giza Local Heroes Affinity debit card, we make a donation to select veterans organizations. After all, we can never repay them, but we can do our best to help a little with the Giza Veterans Affinity debit card.
You want to help others. You need a solid career. You can have both with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, stop by our campus at 595 Grant Road across from Safeway or visit chartercollege.edu.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Welcome back. In another news, one of the Wenatchee Valley's most treasured nature preserves could be undergoing some changes in the future. NCWLIFe's Steve Hare tells us more.
The Rand Natural Area is located near the confluence of the Columbia and Wenatchee Rivers, linked by the Apple Capital Loop Trail between Walla Walla Point Park and Confluence State Park. The former orchard land was purchased by the PUD in the 1980s for recreation and wildlife preservation for the Rock Island Dam project. The land is managed by the State Department of Parks and Recreation. Now, the two entities are now engaged in a visioning process for its future management, and they hosted an open house Wednesday to get more community feedback. PUD project leader Michelle Smith explains how the natural area could be impacted by future city development plans.
So we're right now looking at a lot of influencing factors in that area. We have, if people aren't aware, there's a Confluence Parkway project that the city is working on, and so they've asked us to engage on that project. That parkway is proposed to go kind of along the railroad and near the park and possibly even impact part of the park area. So we're working closely with the city with that project right now as they go through their environmental assessment. We're also getting a lot of input from local stakeholders, Audubon Society, Friends of the Huron, Our Valley, Our Future. There's a lot of folks that have a lot of interest in the future for that Huron area, and we're getting some really good feedback from those folks on improvements, things they would like to see.
Ryan Layton is the Eastern Regional Manager for the State Department of Parks and Recreation.
It's been a while since we've done a comprehensive management plan looking at the Huron area and what an asset it is to the park system and to the Chelan PUD's inventory of recreational properties. So we're looking forward to some outcomes here that can help set some goals and some objectives for the long-term management of the property.
Officials say the visioning process will continue with more public outreach planned. You can learn more about the project on the PUD's website. Steve Hare, NCWLIFE News.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Time now for our weekly Kennel Cameos feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Tonight, NCWLIFE's Megan McPherson introduces us to Shasta, the Siberian Husky Mix.
Hey
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCWLIFE channel. We're here with Jenny, the volunteer coordinator at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and Shasta is joining us this week. She's a little shy. Can you tell us about Shasta?
Yeah, Shasta is about 5 years old. She's a super sweet girl once you get to know her. Takes a little bit at first, and she's pretty timid at first, but she's come a long way since she's arrived at the shelter this summer. She is our playgroup star. We haven't found a dog that she doesn't like, so we think she gets along basically with any type of dog, female, male. She lived with female Chihuahuas in her previous home, so yeah, she's just super, super sweet once you get to know her. You just have to take a little time to get to know her, and she's a little timid at first, but once you do, she's very affectionate.
What should someone do if they want to adopt Shasta?
They should come on down and meet Shasta at the shelter. She's ready to go today. She did have a little sunburn when she came in on her nose. That's been healing up pretty nicely. So other than that, she's ready to go.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And what a beautiful day today. A little bit above normal and quite a bit cooler than yesterday, but still not bad. 50 degrees our high today. 48 is our normal high temperature. We did start off on the cold side at 30 degrees, which is below our normal at 34, but it warmed up nicely today, didn't it? 60, our record high temperature. That was set back in 2014. Record low in 2003 of 16 degrees. Sunset tonight will be at 6:53 or 4:35. Sunrise this morning was at 6:53. Let's get right to that surface loop now and show you what we can expect tonight. Mostly clear skies. It will be calm once again, and that'll make for a chilly overnight once again. But you can see a good look of that dome of high pressure over the Pacific Northwest, and the cold temperatures then funneling back down through the mid-mountain states and over into the upper Midwest. Increasing clouds for Friday. It will be mild, though. We will see a bit of a warm front move through. Those light greens and yellows once again indicate upper 50s, some lower 50s as well. We'll say pretty much in the mid-50s here in north central Washington for Saturday to kick off our weekend. We will see more cloudiness than we've seen the last couple of days, but boy, it's going to warm up nicely. We will see temperatures all over central Washington into the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. By Sunday, partly cloudy skies. We'll see a few more clouds from this area of low pressure that'll be bringing clouds our way, but still just unseasonably warm for Sunday with highs once again in the mid to upper 50s. Monday, mostly cloudy. We will see cooler temperatures as this front off the area of low pressure way up in the Gulf of Alaska brings some cold air into us. That'll be on Monday, but it won't last very long. We will warm up a little bit on Tuesday, but we'll also see cloudy skies and a 20% chance for scattered rain. And yes, notice the snow showers to our north. Will they move our way? We'll know more as we get together once again next week. And then on Wednesday, mostly sunny, dry. Once again, a ridge of high pressure over us. We will be warmer with a nice one expected for Wednesday. Now let's take a look at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling 7-day forecast. 32 tonight, 52 your high tomorrow, 56 for Saturday, 55 on Sunday. We'll be in the upper 40s for Monday and Tuesday with the chance of the wet stuff on Tuesday. And then by Wednesday, 51 with partly cloudy skies. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and this is Amanda, and we are from Impact Auto Sales,
where you can expect a hassle-free car buying experience. With our wide selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, let one of our friendly sales staff help you find the vehicle that fits your lifestyle. We have financing available for all credit types and great low rates for first-time buyers. Call us today at 888-8000 or stop by 3522 State Highway 97A in Wenatchee. Impact Auto Sales, where we strive to make an impact on your life and not your wallet.
Are you like many who are lacking in their retirement plan but are skeptical to talk to an advisor? Are you concerned about where you should put your money or who to trust? At Solomon Financial, we are more about the people we serve than policies or products. We are a fee-based fiduciary with the mission of giving you the peace of mind so you can live the retirement of your dreams. If you have any of these questions or concerns, we'd welcome you to come see us.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community, and that's pretty useful for everyone. Be a job creator. Donate. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a good Thursday to you. The Eastmont Wildcats are the district soccer champions after a big 2-1 shootout win over Wenatchee last night. Let's get right to the highlights with Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Shot into the box, cleared away. Nope. Play continues. Fisher. Goal! Goal! Eastmont Wildcats. Schoengarth. Sanchez Blanco. Chipper, and a beautiful shot that goes in, shocking everybody. We're tied at 1. Hallie Stegman for the Wenatchee Panthers. Matt Wisen.
Yeah, just one of those funky balls that gets hung up there, and everyone thinks it's going over the goal and just finds its way in the back top corner. We've seen that happen a couple times this year, and this is a Wenatchee Eastmont game, so what can you say?
Anything can happen when these two get together. Eastmont, the ball by Chandler to Brown. Brown on a 1-and-3. Brown, right-footed shot coming, and the beautiful stop by Nia Hughes. And there's the whistle that tells us that we're going to overtime it. Her marker into the box she goes. Is she going to go across? And it sailed past. It sailed past Nia Hughes. Now the second half starts. The second overtime period, I should say. Gross Didier battling. Cleared away. Brown. Brown with some room. Enters the box. Brown. Brown. Over the crossbar. Unbelievable. Matt Wisen. What happened there?
Sometimes the easiest looking shots are the toughest. And there we are.
And there we are. We're going to the penalty kick shootout. Whistle is there. Chandler. And Miss Hughes came this close, Matt Wisen.
Got a good read on that and great jump and just nicked it. Just couldn't get quite enough.
All right. Smith the shot straight up the middle. We're tied at 1. Brown and Hughes. Hughes and Brown. There's the whistle. The run, the shot! And it sails over the crossbar. Stegman, number 3 on her back. Short run up. Right foot a kick. Beautifully taken. Sparks. There's the whistle. Sparks, hesitation. Right footed shot. Sparks, goal. And now it's Maddie Smith. Smith and the stop. The stop by Cora Fry. Splendid stuff by both goalkeepers. Heimbigner. Right footed again. Heimbigner. Right footer. Beautifully taken by, looked like Eckert from up here. Fisher, deep breath. Slow run up the shot. And the stop. Amazing stuff.
Way to stay with that ball.
Amazing stuff. What presence of mind by the Wenatchee goalkeeper. The 5th kick. And a score gives Wenatchee the shot, and it sails over the crossbar. The shot, and it sails past the stretched hands of Miss Hughes. And now we'll see the obligation of Wenatchee is to score on this one. The shot, goal! What a shot! What beautiful shot by Wenatchee that time.
Just in the one spot Cora couldn't save it. She read that and had to jump on it.
Whistle on the play. Right-footed shot, and the stop by Miss Hughes. Sanchez Blanco. 4-4 tied. The shot, and the stop by Cora Fry. Ellie Little. A goal gives Eastmont the lead. Little, right footer, the shot, Little. No problem for Little. The shot, Bowman, sails wide, and Eastmont have won the district title and will advance outright to state. What an evening of soccer, what a definition. What a thriller between these two teams.
Our job was to just be defensive and make sure that we weren't trying to play pretty in overtime. It was just clear the ball away. When it comes down to it, we have Cora Fry and 5 finishers. And today it was 8. So, Cora kept us alive, and the next person that typically doesn't practice PK stepped up and put them away. So I don't think I ever had a doubt of that we weren't going to win this game.
Eastmont will host a state playoff game next week against a yet-to-be determined opponent. Wenatchee has one more shot to get to state Saturday. It'll play the winner of today's game between Davis and Moses Lake, which is underway right now. Well, the big game is here. 51st meeting between Wenatchee and Eastmont in the Bridge of Sportsmanship. The big question looming over what is going on tonight is whether all-league running back Nate Blauman would be able to play. So I asked Coach Scott Devereaux that very question.
We'll find out a little more today. He practiced a little bit yesterday, but he wasn't full speed. So, it might be a game time decision.
What exactly happened, or do you know what happened?
I know what happened. Yeah, I know what happened. He strained his hamstring, and, he couldn't play Friday. It happened on Thursday, and he's come along pretty well in the rehab.
I know you used Jax, you used Ty a little bit in the backfield on Friday nights at Walla Walla. Your team looks a lot different without Nate back there, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's probably, might be the league MVP in my opinion, and not having him out there hurt. Walla Walla did some things to our offensive line that hurt more probably for the running attack, but whoever carries the ball tomorrow's got to do their job, and guys up front got to do their job, and that's the way the game works.
Now, Eastmont coach Michael Don is aware of the big play potential for both teams, but he says it'll be the team that plays within itself that will have the advantage.
They've been explosive all year. They've got 4 or 5 kids who can take any play to the house at any time. We've probably got 4 or 5 kids that can take any play to the house at any time, and it's really going to be who tempers the mood and is able to play within themselves and not make the critical mistakes and not try to play above and beyond who they are. Just do what they do and be who they are.
How do you prep the guys on it not being too big of a moment for them?
That's something we try week 1. We tell them all season, prepare every game like it's a championship game. So when you get to a championship game, nothing's really different. You've been preparing mentally all season for that. So I can say that till I'm blue in the face, and teenage boys are teenage boys.
Bridge of Sportsmanship tonight here live on the NCWLIFE channel. Join me and Grant for the play-by-play pregame at 6:30, the kickoff at 7 o'clock. That's sports. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. Join me tomorrow. We'll have Wenatchee Wild Hockey. We'll preview the big series they have this weekend with the Penticton V's. They'll be in town Friday and Saturday night. Trevor Grobel is a defenseman with Wenatchee Wild. We sat down and visited with him, and the assistant head coach, Chris Clark. We'll have that for you tomorrow, plus your chance to win Wenatchee Wild tickets. We'll have your weekend weather forecast and highlights of a football game between some local high schools of some importance that's going on tonight in East Wenatchee. Forget the name of it. Anyway, join me tomorrow. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from this very studio. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great weekend.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.